to get into those aura items, because you need that bit of tempo. You want to be playing fast in towards this Medusa Mars, because on the flip side, if Dragon Esports are the ones setting up, we know how this works. Medusa goes frontline, goes to an objective. Mars is ready to jump with a blink and a spear and arena. And all of a sudden, the game gets hard.
Splitting up here, going down for the wards. Both mid laners saw each other and saw that the other one had an observer ward. Storm is going to be the first one to drop his obs on his side. Queen holds on to hers.
Get some of that early vision down. Jippe and Eki.
This has become more and more common. The whole widespread, like people smoke out and then just very wide go out for the wards and don't really run as 5 for ganks as much. I think it comes down to teams that are just better at just utilizing the ramps and not getting caught in a 5-man situation.
Just tuck away and hide.
Going back to Unlord a little bit, I do think that him getting the pipe is going to be massively important, but maybe Atos first is the play here still, to get some lockdown against the Queen of Pain and set up for the Exort.
Oh, Firestorm's there. Aki's still not leveling anything up, so it's going to be the Medusa who grabs up that bounty rune.
Yeah, they're going to be happy with that, get 1 bounty rune advantage for themselves on the side of the Dragon Esports.
That is a little pleb, right? Muxa. One of his little names.
Yeah,
it must be. And not tagged up in game.
Yeah, the rest of them are
as
all...
I expect anyway, so I guess he's done a little name change.
Yeah, and now we can see AVULUS for the real names as well in the lobby. They were all stormy, windy, rainy, sunny. Funny guys.
We've got Jippe, Eki. They've got a couple of players with E at the end of their names, so it kind of fits. Yeah. Miley.
Eki is not having a very easy time in lane here, just getting run at by a Medusa. And while you may think, oh, it's a range hero versus a melee hero, it's easy for the Mirana, right? But it's not really true. Naga has a lot of armor, and she is happy to run at you.
How much is it? Like 6 or something? What is it?
No, she's only at 4. I thought that she would be higher as well, but it's 4.8, so it's almost 5 armor. It mitigates a lot.
And she's gonna be very irritating this lane already.
Yeah, already we see shenanigans pulling the creep waves. So Mirana is taking this creep wave and pulling it. That's why we see Mary doing the same thing. And here's the creep wave now. Your lane is here.
Eki just takes, what, 3-4 hits, blood grenade.
Oh, he's in trouble, Eki.
And the Mystic Snake with no leaps remaining. The final touch is there, and this Nagasaran has just walked over the Mirana.
Yeah, she just got leaped back as well at the very last second, but it's very tough. You can't do much here, and you don't get much help from your Underlord either, who just wants to help himself farming his creeps. Meanwhile, we haven't really looked at the other lanes that much, but bottom lane we have the Mars getting a decent CS. Knight, of course, should be doing very well in this lane. And mid lane, super close HP trading here.
I was watching that mid lane where it's very tight between the two of them. Water runes have spawned up, so Queen of Pain's going to have that. But like, this Invoker's so good at sustaining in lane. Against this Queen of Pain, he's going to feel very good about himself. Spell lifestealing, regenning up.
Yeah, I mean, she will eventually. She at least is trading decently so far, but Invoker just has more harass capability. He did all Quas Wex in this game, so not looking for the Sunstrikes.
And double Wraithband again. We saw 9 do that previously.
Yeah, it's pretty common. You just right-click really hard with Invoker, and a bit of armor does really well on the hero.
18-2 for the Invoker. Yeah, right up at the top. Underlord not having the best of times, but that's kind of, as you explained, difficult lane for the Mirana to play into Naga. And this Underlord being dragged back under tower, taking some pretty heavy hits there. Not quite dead, and looks like he's tanky enough to withstand any further harassment.
Getting pulled into tower like that is scary. You can't really go close to the tier 1 tower against Naga. This is the main reason why the hero is so highly rated. The highest rated hero at the entire TI. She was banned, and she was banned more than 100 times at TI.
Worth every single ban.
Definitely, yeah. She's pretty absurd hero. You know, at bottom we see a bit of trading. The Ench has nature's tendons here, so hard for Willow to harass into.
And then DK, kind of a hard hero for them to kill with this. There's Mars and Dark Willow, usually kind of a kill threat lane.
Yeah, Radiant has the advantage there for sure. And now with a Wolf as well, she has 2 points enchant, so...
Stormstormer. He's just straight up solo killed the Queen of Pain.
That's my boy right there. I'm not biased at all, but you know, that is my boy right there.
Man, watching it happen, like the Queen of Pain seemed like deer in headlights kind of moment. Had a fairy fire, had a blink, but a very well-timed tornado. Caught her out.
Yeah. She was trying to push her limits to how far you could farm. And keep in mind, I told you, you pick Queen into Invoker, it's not a good matchup. And you're playing against a nerd who played 5,000 games of Invoker. Like, you need a good matchup. Again, welcome back to the lane. Doesn't have mana. 5,000 games. Not enough to calculate the cold camp. Stormy. Got mana off.
Oopsie doopsie. And then up top, Twin Gate rotation. Enchantress is here. Alpha Wolf leading the charge. Yeah, going to send the Naga Siren away as they pressure tier 1 tower. So, similar to what we saw again in kind of Series 1, you have a bit of a rough time with your off lane, and you bring that extra number, you try lane for a bit, you boot the enemy safe laner out, but this works particularly because you have a Dragon Knight safe lane, right? He's not a fragile hero.
Yes, exactly. They already were winning bottom, and Dragon Knight is a sustainable hero like you were already mentioning there, and now you can 3v1 top lane, and while the fish were doing really good, now it's not looking so nice for the Naga and the Medusa.
They've been run at by mud golems, shard golems, catapults coming, and the tier 1 tower's nearly dead.
Boot them out of the lane, back to the ocean you go. He just keeps taking more creeps. You can't really stop an Ench from taking tower when she makes this early of a move to a side lane, unless you get Willow to TP in. But what's Willow gonna do to stop this? She can't really help.
Absolutely nothing. She's trying to head in to maybe guard the 6-minute rune. Queen of Pain, though, EMP Cold Snap, all the mana and the majority of the HP burnt.
Oh, gets lucky, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, gets a regen rune. And 2 heroes showing up mid. It's the 3v1.
Does he have Wand for Ghost Walk? Ooh, Invis?
Wow. The Sonic Wave even pushing him from one Bramble into the other Bramble, so taking even more damage.
That's some nasty stuff.
Good
Sonic
rotations
Wave,
by
Brambles,
Dragon.
the terrorize into Arena.
Yeah, they do have their little neat combos in the team. Some fun draft. But so far, even though that was a good kill for them, they're still kind of trailing behind. The Queen of Pain, even with that takedown, is still 800 gold behind the Invoker. And the Dragon Knight farming safely on bottom lane.
Queen of Pain making her first real move. Comes up to top, and Stormstormer is ready for her. Throws the tornado, a little bit more damage, not quite enough, nearly burns, but they can't finish off the Quap. Mary Y, meanwhile, the Naga Siren getting hit down, gets off the mirror image, is going to be found by the Invoker, while Eki, how many hits is this? 5 or 6 more? With a Starstorm at level 2, if only he could close the gap.
Yeah, he had 2 magic stick charges. I don't think you can kill him. One more leap and Starfall, and maybe he could have killed him, but rough.
Good stun from Smiling Knight. Make sure that there's no spear back into tower play.
Yeah, holding his own. He's going for the armlet builds on Dragon Knight, so very farm-heavy builds. That's what we expect to see. And that build, it is hard to stop, and once he gets to the point of Daedalus down the road, that's when that build pops off. He needs a lot of items before he becomes really massive, but it's difficult to shut down compared to some other safe laners.
Yeah, I mean, even at this point right now, I mean, Smiling Knight has got the cosmetic that we've seen win TI.
True. The Griffin.
The Griffin Knight. Or Hippogriff, whatever it is. I always get those two things confused. Yeah, it's definitely been a struggle these first 10 minutes for the 3 cores of Dragon Esports Club. And that worth, it's spiraling out of control, and this Queen of Pain has been the one to really suffer, and they're caught in the pit of malice with a Centaur Stomp. Necro units coming out to push the tower as well.
That's what we were calling for from the Underlord, for him to join in like this, do something, and then quickly back to his lane. So he had impact, he helped out, now back to farming. You can keep doing this off cooldown. It's surprisingly easy to do it frequently, since 110 seconds is not that long cooldown. It's pretty strong for a global spell. Medusa just standing under Firestorm, taking no damage at all because of Firestorm.
Cares not about your percentage-based damage. And Shibe, he's still looking pretty dead though. Even going to bring the Naga Siren across here to ensure his demise. But this means that you are completely giving up on that mid-tier 1.
Yeah, the tower is falling slowly, but they have Arena. They might think about Invoker here, if he can get close enough.
Queen of Pain blinks in aggressively again, but that Tornado, it clips the Mars, so no follow-through play. Queen of Pain just having such a torrid game.
Yeah, the amount of times she's been completely out of mana, it's tough. I feel for her. She's gonna have to go and get herself the Bounty Rune here to stay on the map. Meanwhile, the move comes down bottom here, using the Ghost Walk as well.
And Stormer. He's hungry for it. Hold snap. Tornado.
Alacrity for the Dragon Knights, hitting into it.
Quite a lot of damage. Infernal throws the Arena Spear down and survives it though. Couldn't finish him off.
Oh, he does survive, but now that's Arena on cooldown. That's one of your big tools you want to use aggressively. They forced it defensively, and the tower's still being pressured. Queen wants that rune, but Ench says no. Yeah, he gets to deny right in front of his eyes.
I mean, Dragon Esports Club just kind of running around trying to put out fires. There's a good Brambles and a Spear again. The Ensnare and the reel back in. The Smiling Knight dead to the Sonic Wave. Queen of Pain finally gets something to go her way. Stormer running back from the Dark Willow while Mirana leaps barely back to safety and TP's home.
Yeah, she's gonna get out, and now back to mid. We have a catapult on the mid lane here for AVULUS, so they're gonna start pushing with it. Alacrity probably coming in soon. Put him on himself and just auto attack away. And this is what Ench is bringing as well. This is the power that Sneko is bringing to the table with Ench. Just always these creeps pushing lanes. They almost took all the tier 1 towers already.
It's a pretty nice little lead they've got.
Found himself a D-ward as well. Right now, Sonic Wave on cooldown, Arena on cooldown. Hard for Dragon Esports to make a move.
I mean, what cooldowns does AVULUS rely on? Dragon form and that's it?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, they're not a cooldown-based team at all. They just go. It's regular abilities. Invoker is... That's one of the big powers of Invoker. He doesn't have that downtime, really. He is looking to EMP the Medusa here.
Gonna try and get a connection on it. Burns all the mana, but a pretty full one. A bit of healing there. Be able to keep the Medusa alive while Storm's turned on. Well, the Pavis, the shield, that's kept him up and running. As Mary and Infernal came in here with all their spells. They defend the Medusa.
Armageddon.
Dark Will has arrived trying to backstab the Invoker. Look at him coming here. Armageddon with the Queen of Pain arriving. Tornado TP. Oh, no, not
Not gonna get out. Nice try to get out there, but they do bring him down in the end. So finally, something going the way for Dragon Esports here. Take over the top area. Meanwhile, though, their stack is being stolen by the Smiling Knight. He's in there. Haha, it is high.
The Knight of Knights.
The gleeful knight as he steals your ancients.
His wings are so big. Ooh, he doesn't have any wings anymore. Tucked back in.
Yeah, he does have the armlet, so his farm rate is increasing. Queen looking for a go on the Ench here. Does have Pavis and Untouchable, so not the easiest.
16, 19 wand charges, 21, and a Lotus as well. Yeah, Seneko.
And the healing facet is definitely healing.
And in comes Shibe now. You spent a lot of time and effort trying to kill off a little Enchantress, and now you're probably going to pay for it. Is that a Solar Flare as well from Eki? Arrow misses, but the damage will come through until the Song of the Siren puts a stop to it. The Brambles, and then the run back, as it looks like Stormer was trying to catch up to somebody else.
Yeah, they're just rushing away. I mean, that healing is so gross, man. Even the mech coming in from the Underlord there towards the end. You think you're going to kill the Ench, but all those resources invested and you get nothing.
Insane. Like, look, why are his wings so big? Why is Dragon Knight just so big?
I mean, it's a big body though. If you're gonna fly as like a lion, you're gonna need big wings, right? That's the thing about griffins.
I guess.
Or flap really fast. You can have small wings and they just go super fast.
Like insects.
Yeah.
Ooh, 14-minute rune. That's a lot of chain stun. Nagasaran down. Arena dropped. Infernal coming in with 2 seconds to go. Rune's going to spawn. Stormer alacrities up the Dragon Knight. Queen of Pain gets the Wisdom Rune, but now rooted up, stunned. Blinks back away from the Pit of Malice as this Medusa does come in with a Stone Gaze, but AVULUS turning and running. Low HP on the Dragon Knight. Queen of Pain blinks in aggressively, turned on and killed immediately.
Okay, dual race. His eyes were bigger than his belly there. That was...
P-I-L-T.
Yeah, that's a rough one. He did have a killing spree. He was doing pretty well recovering from a tough laning stage, but Queen of Pain trying for too much there.
That's definitely like a team, we gotta go moment, and then nobody followed him. Infernal bodyguarding.
Sunstrike on the point, dude.
The Nagasaran gets popped. And the Mars and the Willow trying to do a job at guarding them as they retreat, but it's not enough.
Yeah. Stormstorm also going for the same build we saw from 9, the Mage Slayer build. So this seems to be popular here among the Invoker experts. And again, he's just finding these initiations.
It's just non-stop, isn't it? Cold Snap, Tornado, Arrow, Pit of Malice. You are stuck in the mud, you're not moving.
Yeah, cannot move around at all. And the thing is, Invoker, very low cooldowns, but also look at his resources. You don't lose them. Even if you do, just Ghost Walk for a little bit, and you have so much mana regen, so much HP regen. So the hero is very good at these non-stop aggression situations, and that just allows the Dragon Knight to do what he does. He's farming up, he's getting huge. Underlord also is getting really farmed in this game.
Oh, there's just so many of these little things. Like what, the way you phrased that just would not have flown 2 or 3 years ago. You know? The Invoker is out there making space for the Dragon Knight as the Dragon Knight farms stags. It's meant to be Dragon Knight running around blinking and stunning people.
It used to be, yeah. It definitely used to be. We had more people playing carry Invoker back then than people playing like carry style Dragon Knight.
Yep.
But Dragon Knight has really evolved, and he's evolved. You know, for a while he was the green facet. Some people tried the blue facet, but after the buffs and the changes, the red facet reigns supreme. There is no way that you're going to see a Dragon Knight player play any of the others, I think. 60% cleave is just so much. And then you pop your ulti, you get a bunch of splash damage.
Yeah, there was that topic about Dragon Knight just being a worse version of Sven. It's not true anymore.
People who say that have not tried to kill a Dragon Knight.
Well, it was when Pure had just started playing DK, and I can't remember who I was with, but we interviewed him. And we asked him, like, why have you...
It was you and I. You and I cast Pure when he did. Yeah. Pure was playing it, but they were trying to hide it. They were saying, oh, you know, Sven was banned, so we just did something. But Pure proceeded to play an insane game of DK where he farmed so hard. They basically set this meta that we see on Red Facet DK now. That was back in early Riyadh Master stuff.
And that was like, no one else was doing it, and he literally said to us, you know, I don't want to talk about it because then other teams will notice.
I asked him a very pointed question, and he was like, no. No. He was a bit uncomfortable in the interview about, you know, no, it's not good. It's bad. It's fine.
That's great.
Funny. Then he proceeded to do the same thing back to back, I think. He played 2 games in a row. But yeah, bringing it back to the game we're in here, looking at this game, Mars just not anywhere close to having a blink dagger. I think that's the biggest story of the game right here, is that Mars is just absolutely abysmal level farm. He got 4k net worth.
Yeah.
He is not entering the game at all.
No, it's a real hard one for him. I mean, Queen of Pain at least has, you know, kind of scrambled back and recovered a bit. You know, Dagon build on her is going to give her a decent spot to go and zap people down, get some kills, the in and out style of gameplay. But like the worry always is if you have a Medusa and your offlane is doing poorly, it very often means that the Medusa is going to do poorly in the fights.
Nice combo. Tornado into arrow, clean find there as Nagas just trying to farm some place, you know, find some farm for themselves on the map. But no, you're absolutely right. And meanwhile, AVULUS here, we have the Enchantress just running without any fear. Doesn't even have boots, by the way. Just a Solar Crest and a Bracer and a Magic Stick. That's all he needs. Be completely unkillable. And look at Medusa.
Seneko.
I want to farm here. Can I farm here? And Seneco's like, no. I think this belongs to me. This Ancient is mine.
That is despair. That is
Getting
painful.
robbed by a support.
By a wild wing. Like a wild wing waddles into your jungle and takes your ancients away from you.
Yeah,
Well,
he
Dire
shows on the
Sentry.
lane. Well, tornado off the mark, though. He was trying to tornado from far away because he knew that there was a sentry and ward combination here. They're now gonna remove those.
Well, at least the Medusa's got a bit of farm behind her.
Mars, without Blink, is looking for an angle. He has to use
Oh,
the tree
man.
line so well to get any form of initiation, though.
We just clicked and saw the Underlord's items. Yes,
Yeah.
good luck doing damage.
Yeah, the offlane item difference. 2 bracers or Crimson and Mech. The Underlord definitely having a fantastic time.
And it looks like the Nargothrond gonna get caught here. Caught in an arrow. They've got an Arena Spear. Stormer. Very tanky Invoker, though. Able just to stand and take the beating. Like, Underlord hasn't even arrived, nor has the Dragon
Underlord
Knight.
went mid to kill the Queen together with Dragon Knight.
Oh, you're right. So they went to kill the quad, but that leaves Stormer alone to die down bottom against the other 4 of Dragon Esports Club.
Yeah, they had a haste rune on Dragon Knight. He ran in, smacked the Queen of Pain, then stunned. Then Underlord came in, put down the Pit of Malice. Straightforward kill for them. And Queen dropping for an Invoker, though, is a great trade for the side of Dragon and Esports. They got almost 1,000 gold, whereas not even 500 gold went the way of AVULUS.
Map state-wise, though,
Yeah,
Ancients belong
it's
to
still not
DK.
good.
how healthy is that bottom tier 2?
It's pretty healthy. They also have Glyph, so they can delay one more creep wave by glyphing. They're going to get forced to do so here as the Dragon Knight comes in. This is definitely a Glyph moment.
Oh, tried the leap arrow. Dragon Knight was also doing some splashy splash onto the Willow. Yeah, a bit of breathing room at least. You know, give up this bottom tier 2. Move out onto the map, push out mid, get a bit of farm top. The worrying part, though, is that giving away Tormentor might be a little bit too much. Might have to come back and contest that.
Well,
and then, of course,
it's Tormentor,
21-minute rune.
it's also the prime farming area, like the good cut of the steak here for Medusa. She wants to farm the big creeps. She wants to farm Ancients. She doesn't want to hit these small creeps and like medium camps. That doesn't get you any gold.
Which one's the
No.
good one?
Yeah,
What's
they
your
cut off.
favorite cut of steak?
Oh, favorite cut? The Ancient Thunderhide steak. That's a good one.
Okay.
They die so fast.
I was
They're my
talking
favorite.
about real life, you know, from a cow, but okay.
Yeah, that's why I eat, dude.
You eat thunderhides.
Yeah.
Fred Flintstone over here, gonna freaking Triceratops for breakfast.
Indeed. Dude, they're just going. They're not stopping. The tempo is here.
Yeah.
Pushing high grounds. Glyph is ready. Not using it for the tower. Finally gonna use it.
And they took the Tormentor, right? It spawned, it died in 15 seconds.
They
and
took
now
it. Yeah, they're already pushing afterwards. Oh, they're really clumped though for this.
And this is a song into arena with a spear back. Terrorized combo as well. Could be good for Dragon Esports Club. They've got a lot of damage on Seneko. The heal's not fast enough. Eki Stormer, they're both dead. Seneko about to fall as well, but stays alive with a attendant healing while Smiling Knight standing on high ground. Knight can't be stopped, can't be touched. Good damage out onto
Gets
these
tipped by
dire
his
heroes
teammate.
as he just whacks the Queen of Pain, nearly blows her up in 2 splash damage hits. Mars is sent packing as well, while the Medusa standing, getting some stuns onto Smiling Knight. Now he's done for, surely zapped down by the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, looking for more as well. Try and
Oh,
catch
it's
any
there.
of these heroes.
It blinks aggressively into this Firestorm Pit of Malice, just trying to get a grab onto Jibe or Seneko. And Underlord, yeah, a tanky fella, but very slow. You called him the Slug Man. He's trying to waddle his way out
He
of here.
might just
but
be
he's
able to channel this and get out.
rooted up. Can he get towards the gate to channel it and run? He's thinking he's trying to get into the freaking
Oh, they're bringing
door,
Invoker from the
but
base
now he's
instead.
coming back in with the Invoker and the Mirana. You're right. It wasn't an escape plan. It was a turnaround plan.
They pretended it was an escape plan. They were like, oh, I'm leaving. But instead, they came in. The backup arrives.
And then we go back to hitting buildings.
Yeah, Alacrity onto the Mirana here. Go click.
Sunstrike onto the Willow, where she sat. 200 HP. The meatball, that's off the mark, but the damage from the Mirana, that's also not enough.
Yeah, meanwhile, Underlord soaking the damage here. He does have a lot of sustainability. Dragon Knight is going to have to waddle over all the way from base, but even without him, the team is quite capable in pushing.
He should just go farm.
Deal the Wisdom Rune here. And Dragon Esports, they have great team fight spells. They do, but the laning stage was too rough for them. They are just so far behind. The Mars has now been overtaken by the last player on the side of AVULUS here. The Mirana even is out farming him. That's just not a good place to be, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it. You can feel it. If this net worth lead was, 5, 6, 7k or something, if there was that extra item on Mars, the blink or the pipe or something, it could be much closer.
Look at that DD Dragon Knight take Roche. Just watch him. What? No, yeah, I mean, kind of. He's getting help from Suneko tanking. He could take it alone, but look at the damage. Those Daedalus procs, 1200 damage. Jeez. Falls pretty fast. He had a very, very streamlined item build. Armlets into BKB, into Daedalus. Didn't waste any time. No Sanchiashas, no Silveredge. There's nothing like that.
Oh, this is a big catch. If they can follow up on it with the gate coming, it looks like they should be able to. Hit of Malice is there. The mana is all gone. And Lil Pleb's Medusa very close to death. They just need a little bit more follow through. They can't quite find it though. I mean, like you said, a streamlined item build, but it means there's no blink or initiation or move speed for the Dragon Knight.
That's very true. He has one purpose, and he's trying to do that purpose. He cannot really chase like that. What the catch is supposed to be for. They get away on the side of Dragon Esports, but like so many times before, abilities used and they don't get a reward for it. They just salvage something. The Mars Arena on cooldown again, didn't get a kill. The Medusa ulti now on cooldown. So now the teamfight is tricky when the high ground push comes in here. And they don't care about their ultis on the side of AVULUS.
Now they can go straight up here. Smiling Knight plants himself on high ground.
He's not even backing out. He wants to be stunned on the tower.
Yeah, BKB, Aegis. Jippei's got all the auras in the world in behind the DK.
They even have Holy Locket on Ench ready to heal him up a little bit. She got a big 20 Holy Locket ready for him now.
Oh, man. They're definitely still respecting the moves, though. Even with all the sustain and all the stuff they've got, that last team fight was a little scary.
Mars cutting the creep wave mid, blinking around and got TP out. Yeah, last team fight looked fantastic for Dragon Esports with the clumping, but even if everybody's clumped up together, they still didn't really have the damage to bring them all down. The Dragon Knight needs a lot of targeted damage, and once the ultis are gone, he just says, okay, and now? Like, how do you bring down this man if you don't have a strong carry? You need something like, some Ursa or whatever who can actually stand there and fight. Medusa does not win the trade against him. She does have a Daedalus of her own, though, and I like her item build. She says BKB and then Moonshard next.
Okay.
So Medusa realizes he just needs to be able to hit against all these disables, and then he needs attack speed.
Man, this support Mirana is a little silly. Triple Bracer BKB.
2.5k HP now.
Jumps in. The Mars. This infernal fella is meant to be the be-all and end-all of your team fight, your initiation, your go power, and he's dead for 40 seconds.
Yeah, he's just gone, and I don't really see how you initiate anymore. You can song into them, what? There's nothing, no follow-up, so they're just gonna have to concede the lane of Rax here and try and play for mid.
Yeah, one lane remains, basically.
Yeah, and they're not wasting any time. 2 minutes on the Aegis on Dragon Knight, so he's going straight towards that mid lane.
What can you do about this? You've got no one on the map to cut waves. You have to meet this head on.
Yeah, the initiation has to be perfect. You gotta get the Invoker somehow. But even then, he has BKB ready. Not that easy to go on.
Well, Mars has respawned at least. But yeah, this is now time to retreat from AVULUS.
Dragon Knight ulti is timing out, so they don't feel that eager to fight yet. They can wait for the next DK ulti in 40 seconds, and they will still have Aegis for another 40 seconds beyond that. Yeah, things are just getting more more and more desperate here. Stormstormer is looking for something, but I don't think he's going to find the Medusa. Top lane, jump on Mirana.
Ooh. Yeah, with a spear and the magic damage. Leap away, the BKB's up, and he's out of there. Well, they force a BKB, but now Stormstormer. What's that, a two-man EMP tornado? Into the Pit of Malice. Medusa has no mana left, and well, the Naga's just dead.
Quaswex against Medusa. EMP is thousands of damage, basically. Is how you gotta look at it.
And the Solar Flare is there to try and finish off these last buildings in the Dire base. They've got an arena on the Mirana, but that's a support hero while your building is crumble. Now Infernal's going to try and turn and run. Terrorize doesn't get too much done, and now Pit of Malice into chain stuns on dual rays. Queen of Pain will barely blink away. Another layer of stuns was coming. A Smiling Knight, 20 seconds left on the Aegis. I'd be pretty happy for it to time out, for him to die in front of these tier 4 towers. As Infernal, he gets away from the Sunstrike, but the Firestorm and the Pit of Malice is there, and he's dead for 40.
Infernal, he wants to forget about this game, man. Yeah. He needs someone from Men in Black to come here with a little mind wipe pen. The flapping, what is Dragon Knight doing?
Well, he's having a bit of a nightmare, I think. Sent to sleep by the Naga Siren. Comes away, and all of a sudden there's a Medusa in front of his face. She doesn't last long, though. GG from Infernal, as AVULUS, 28.5 minutes. A pretty breezy game one for them.
I told you, I expect them to go into the series looking like the favorites, and this is, I mean, this was even stronger than I expected, though. This was a very dominant performance here. Dragon Esports, you know, they do have 3 players that don't direct his damage. He can go directly onto one target, so if you ever disable the Dragon Knight, if he's ever out of position and Morphling wants to, he can dish out a lot of damage to him directly. So much better here for man fighting. And you can even turn his stun against him. You can lock him in place a little bit. So Morph does bring other stuff to the table here. And yeah, he just doesn't really have the same tempo is the worrisome part.
Yes, yeah, for sure agree with that. And he itemizes into items which are good, like BKB and Lincoln Sphere, to stop all of the damage coming his way.
Yeah, also has insane armor, which is usually good against Dragon Knights, because the Daedalus is not that good when Morphling has like 40, 50, 60 armor.
And also pretty handy now you've got the Kunkka instead of the Mars for Dragon Esports Club as well, so you've got that kind of aura carrier.
Yeah, I think that might fit better. We'll see if Infernal can have a redemption arc here after last game. Last game was a really rough one for him. He was being targeted heavily by the
he's got to start by high-fiving his lion. No? You just let your pos 4 hang like that and go and high-five a tower?
Damn. That's brutal.
I unbound my high-five key, guys. I'm sorry. Seneca with a big old tree. Smiling Knight. He was up there, but Infernal grabs the rune under his nose, and Armageddon, yeah, just being punched around by the Bat and the Prophet. Tried to skirt around the damage from the Dragon Knight, but it is Smiling Knight that gets the first blood.
Such a fantastic start to have as well. Getting that on the Dragon Knight allows him to immediately complete his Bracer, sends out that on the Courier. And we already saw him have a good lane last time. Now, off to a good start here as well. That's a cute little Courier.
Which one?
The Nature's Prophet one is rolling an acorn or.
Oh, very nice. Oh, yeah, Dragon Knight should have a good time up here. Like you say, Prophet as a support, gets first blood. Very difficult one for the Lion and the Kunkka. Just drag waves around, try and get what you can.
This is similar to the Naga game that we watched as well against the Mirana, where she was just chasing the Mirana. Now it's a different story, but sort of similar, where he just summoned some Greater Treants and put them to chase the Lion. Like, here you go, take a Greater Treant. Want to fight that? Good luck.
Lion's like, okay, I'm using my mana pool. I'm just stunning the Prophet. Just keep hitting him.
Yeah, that's the way to do it for sure.
And I love moments like this where, so I'm watching the Observer feed, right? I don't have the Observer sounds. I've got my sounds from my game, which is currently centered on the mid lane, where I've heard Earth Spirit roll about 6 times.
Yeah,
constantly.
A lot of rolling for CSing. So far, it's pretty well played by the Invoker on dual race. He's burned some mana with the MP here, and outlasted him a little bit. The Earth Spirit struggling in this matchup as he should.
Yeah, and I guess if you're in this kind of situation as well, you know you're going to get clipped by EMP at some point, so you just kind of go through your mana pool to get the most use out of it as quickly as you can.
You do. You just want to get to bottle. You spam your spells, get bottle, and then rely on rotations.
Down at bottom. Zebe's tied. 0-1-1 build. So not going for the aggression through the gush, rather go for the sustainability. And that lane presence sit in the creep wave. It's like Morphling is, he's ranged, but not really. You can do a fair amount to stop him from farming, in the early levels anyway.
Yeah, Anchor Smash is great for taking away farm potential from Morphling. You hit him with that, take away percentage-based damage. Morphling is one of the highest stat heroes, so it's quite amazing against him. With double Water Rune going the way of the Earth Spirits. Morph going low, but not low enough.
Little Pleb's like testing the water there. Like, are you going to flame break me? You're holding for the last second. That was really nice to see.
Not having a fun time CSing against the Tidehunter. Constantly sitting at like 40 damage.
He plays forward now into the bat, but yeah, 7 last hits, Morph, 6 last hits, Kunkka. And up at top, it's going to be the 1-for-1 trade. Armageddon and Seneko going blow for blow there. I mean, dead even gold as well, right? 217 plus 56.
One gold more, or 2 total.
No, it's the same, because it's 17 and 16 and 76 and 75.
Oh, yeah.
Or am I crazy? I can't
No,
do
you're
maths.
crazy. You're crazy. It's 2 more.
2 more, yes.
Yeah, huge swing here. So big win for Armageddon. To be fair, though, he got the kill first. So, you know, he got to be part of the experience, whereas the experience went fully to Smiling Knight. Might be happy for that.
I get that level 6 faster. When Evoker's out here, doing very well. I mean, this is night and day from game 1 for Dual Rays.
Yeah, he's having a much better time. And, you know, showing he's also a level 30 Invoker, as we can see on the Dota Plus. So, obviously, he knows his way around this hero as well. When Invoker nerds going at it.
They are. When are we going to see it, though? Like, is it level 6 Earth Spirit that's the move?
Oh, he might go before then even, actually. The Earth Spirit just needs to probably get level 5, I think, even, and then he could make rotations. He could even TP gank if he gets a chance to earlier than that. This hero is similar to Primal Beast. You don't need much. You just want to go to side lanes and have impact, because mid lane is not the place to be for a Stormstormer right now.
Yeah, just go in, get on top of someone. It's nice to see that Radiant Ward in the top jungle. Could scout out those possible rotations. Well, Zippe down at bottom. And taking a heavy beating now. Tide's turning a little bit. Morphling and Tusk regening back up to full so they can actually have a bit of presence in this lane.
Yeah, they're doing a good job using the drinking buddies to trade some harass. It's a nice harass tool in the lane. Get extra damage and they just click into a Tide. Now Morphling actually getting to CS away.
Remember how last game they tri-laned because the Dragonite was doing well and the Underlord wasn't? Seneco's like, I don't need to save the Dragonite from anything. I don't need to go bottom and play aggressively there, so I'm going to freaking jungle as a pause 5.
Oh yeah, he is going the Seb route. Time to farm. He's going to TP bottom though.
Yeah, he will come down.
Threat of TP. He's going to keep farming. Saying he could.
You know I'm out here.
Stacks were made meanwhile though, while he left the lane to do that. Armageddon left the lane to actually be a support and stack up the Ancients and the big camp.
Incredible. Absolute scenes. What a madman.
Earth Spirit went base right now, so he has a big moment. Does he TP to a side lane or mid? He's gonna TP mid. Go back to lane, try and play for the runes.
Yeah, I guess 6-minute rune, too much to let go of. Okay, and Zippe. Always on the back foot now. Definitely has kind of swung, but this is still a Tide who has got that first 4 minutes of pretty good farm. Wave is coming back towards his tier 1. They're not under any threat. And then this gives the opportunity for the bat to move. 6 minutes is coming soon. Dual Rays burns all of Stormstormer's mana. What is that? An Invis down bottom that the Tusk comes in and takes.
Sneaky Mary comes and steals it away right in front of him, so no bottle refill. And Stormstormer really wanted that. They're looking at mid, but I don't think they can punish the Invoker here. He's staying safe.
Yeah, right behind his tower. Zebe's also dragging Creep Wave around. Mary...
They trapped the Tidehunter.
Quite a bit of damage. Level 3 Tide. Morphling and Tusk with the Lion coming in. Through the Kraken Shell. Going to burst him down. Get the final touch on Morphling.
Good damage. Good use of the ramp as well. Tusk players having the patience there, making sure he gets the shard to block off the path. And so many right clicks. Top lane now.
Yeah.
He has to be careful, taking a lot of damage.
And Nature's Prophet nearly got there right on top of him. And 7 minutes about to hit, so Smiling Knight actually presses further forward. Stormstormer, he's in the vicinity. X-Mark TB from the Kunkka, blocks the roll, so Mary gets the Wisdom Rune, but still danger zone here for Tusk and Kunkka. Noble, I think, dodged the Torrent, so a bit of time here with the drinking buddies to get to low ground. Kunkka's out of there. Tusk is going to turn, try and get back onto Stormstormer as Invoker's arrived now with a Lion's final touch. Not quite enough. Now the Sprout and Smiling Knight from the high ground takes the Lion down. And a close-fought battle, but Wisdom Rune for Dragon Esports. And did only one hero die?
Yeah, only one hero died. There was a lot of trading. Stormstormer went really low HP there as well, almost going down. Tusk barely making it out, but in the end, Smiling Knight was just sitting there, attacking whoever he wanted. Nobody cares to even try to kill the Dragon Knight. He's too durable. And I would say they're still pretty happy, even though they didn't get the Wisdom Rune. They did get a kill for their engagement.
It's one of those situations where, like, stealing the Wisdom Rune is huge. Huge for AVULUS. But getting a kill, you know, it's pretty good. And you still forced a lot of movement and attention up into that kind of left corner of the map.
Yeah, it's an awkward spot to bring a bunch of people to. There's not really much to do in the area. You can't really farm ancients this early on with these heroes, so created some space. But meanwhile, Morphling was happily farming as well on the other side of the map. He's getting his time. Like we mentioned early on in the draft, if Morphling can just get to 30, 40 minutes into the game, he can become the be-all, end-all.
Desperate, still looking for his chance to kind of get down there and get on top of the Morphling.
He went with Mana Boots on Earth Spirit just to counter the EMP effect, as he's losing his mana all the time to the EMPs. He made sure he can refill it as well.
Actually, quite often we just see skipped, like boots are skipped completely, right?
Yeah, boot skip fully is not uncommon, or even face boots or power treads is pretty common to go for as well. So yeah, this is an adaptation. You normally don't go Mana Boots.
Good spot. Zibe back down here. Getting his farm on. Morphling not too bothered about this. He'll happily sit there and freeze the lane.
Yeah, he's farming. Both the safe laners are standing strong though. Smiling Knight obviously still farming the top area after they took the tower. They're looking for a gank up here though.
The scan misses. Or Dire scan mid and Radiant scan top? No, yes, that's the way it was.
Yeah, it looked weird. It looked like it didn't turn red there, but it did turn red in the end, so they're turning back.
It wasn't just me then. I saw Dragon walk into it and I'm like, huh?
Yeah, it was late to turn red.
Well, still, he's going to walk into the Morphling and then, hello!
Oh, that's 1v5.
Oh my goodness, everybody's here. He's tanky though. Coming with the Tide Hunter. Hex, Tornado, try and keep them back, but the Ravager will come. The Magnetizer is going. AVULUS, they've turned it, kept the DK alive, killed off 2. Oh man, Dragon Esports Club, they thought they had it.
Oh
they don't know what hit them now. Mary Y, tag team, drinking buddies, up to the high ground.
8 seconds towards the Kunkka.
And the TP's out from the rest of them. Morphling's out of there. Kunkka's run away. And Mary Y should be able to survive.
Yeah,
surely.
He's safe, right? Oh, actually he's chasing. Yeah, okay, he gets high ground vision here from the ward, so he's gonna roll into it. Does he die to the Ancients? He does. There's a stacked Ancients just puts him out of his misery, so that does slow his game down a little bit.
But what a turn from AVULUS, man.
Yeah, that was... I didn't think Dragon Knight was going to be that tanky, but it just goes to show, not an easy hero to burst. Even with the perfect Hex on the Tide Hunter as he came in there, they prevented the Ravage for a while. It wasn't enough. The counter initiation was strong enough.
It's 1v4, man. It's just Dragon Knight, isn't it? It's a Dragon.
Yeah, almost 5 even. They were 5 in the area, very close to all dumping their spells. They just Prophet TPs in, puts a ward on the high ground, deep out.
Very nice.
It's always hard to know where the wards are when you play against the Nature's Prophet support. Like, it's an obvious ward on the cliff, but they haven't walked in there, so they have no reason to suspect that there's a ward there. Now the contest is coming. They see that massive Ancient stack.
They know exactly what's going on. Another
Oh, the
sentry
kick.
drop.
That's gonna steal 5-6 creeps.
Huge money for Stormstormer.
And they steal the
Rapid
rest
nature
too.
and the roll. Onto the Kunkka we go. Magnetize. He's thrown the boat out, so maybe he can survive here with a lasso catching the lion, though. They drag Armageddon to high ground. Stormstormer, the Magnetize reapplied over to the Kunkka, while Mary Y dies on the right-hand side. Invoker and Morphling, they've made a move on the Prophet, though. Seneko is back up to high ground. He can sprout himself. He's perfectly fine. He sprouts the Invoker, in fact. Doesn't care about protecting himself because he allows the roll from Stormstormer to land. Flamebreak is there, but that won't do enough. Now Little Plebs, Morphling is in trouble. He's turned into Batrider, got a Firefly going, but the rest of his team are dead.
Yeah, they just can't stand their ground there. And all that because of that one ward. We saw Nature's Prophet TP in, you know? It seems like an inconspicuous move just going in there, putting down one ward. But the quick little TP in, TP out resulted in huge Ancient steals, tower mid dying, and a massive team fight for them as well. This is just absolutely game-winning stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this gap now between the Dragonite and the Morphling is starting to become a problem.
Yeah, and only now will they start putting their attention down to bottom lane. They haven't followed the script of competitive Dota. You're supposed to take the enemy tier 1 safe lane tower as your first move. That's how everyone plays the game, Garrett.
Wow.
But no, they took top tower, they took mid tower, they stole the enemy ancients. Only now did they move back down here.
And it all goes back to that Wisdom Rune contest, right? That's where it started.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they didn't want to lose their top tier 1 themselves, so they kept playing heavily in the area. And then, as you mentioned, they went in and stole objectives whenever they could.
And what, did I see that right? We just saw the win probability. Was that 90% at minute 12? I think it was.
I believe so, yeah.
We're at 90%.
Yeah, it's currently Dota Plus is predicting a 90% from this situation. Of course, that is not on pro games necessarily. It's just pub data. In pub games, this would be 1 in 10 to win. But maybe the Dragon Esports have the way to do it.
I mean, a 7k lead, and now a lot on the shoulders of this Morphling to get into that kind of mid to late game. Invoker wants to start scaling as well. And AVULUS,
we're seeing the implications of the picks, though. You pick the Morphling you want to farm. Morph has been involved in 1 kill. Look at Dragonite. He's been involved in 7 of the 8 kills that have happened have been because of him. And that's just the difference here. You have a hero that gets online super early and wants to fight early, and then you have Morphling who just wants to get to the mid and late game.
I'm sorry, but Nature's Prophet has been involved in 9 of the 10 kills in this entire game. Seneko has been very involved.
That is, yeah, you get 1 extra for dying as well. It was even better back when you could be Ricky and just smoke screen your allies. You got assists for your allies dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good times.
Oh, it's good. There was another one as well. It was like Undying Soul Rip or something. Also gave you some weird, because you were doing damage to enemies while you were healing your ally.
Ah, yes. Classic.
It is a difficult one for Dragon Esports. Like, are you thinking about how do we get this to 30, 40 minutes? Or are you thinking about what you need to do right now? Like, what's going through your heads?
You gotta go 1 move at a time. Like, your overall feeling is you want to get to minute 30, 40 here if you're Dragon Esports, but you gotta think 1 move ahead all the time. Just, what do we do next? What do we do next? And where should we play? Right now, you see the 2 supports trying to group up and play with Invoker, but they don't really know where to go. Going on Tide doesn't seem good. Going on Dragonite doesn't seem good. So, it's very difficult. They need to go on Earth Spirit, but he's not always showing.
And they've got this vision still over in the Radiant Ancients area. Gives them a lasso, a ton of stuns with that roll and the Dragon Tail. Kills off the Morphling. Dead for 40, and the chase is on now, actually. They've seen the Invoker. Ravage is there just to kill him off and make sure the dual raise is gone.
It's just a class difference in this game and the previous one. I think AVULUS are just so high tempo compared to Dragon Esports. It feels like they're not able to really see where they can go and who they can go on. So they kind of just sit around, whereas AVULUS are always making a move.
This time around, they do have a long cooldown ulti. One of them.
They do have a long cooldown on the Ravage, but even with the Ravage on cooldown, they populate every single lane right now. They just go and sit on every lane, push every lane. Yeah, you want a smoke gang right now on Dragon Esports, but this is difficult. You have creeps hitting your tower mid and bottom.
It's like, not as if we're going back to Roshan. There's no vacuum for them to fill.
No, and they're kind of grasping at straws here. They're trying to find the Dragonite and turn this around. They know the Ravage is on cooldown. Would be a good timing. And Stormstormer is reading the smoke. They're standing in smoke blocking. Smoke reveal, rather.
And now you've got this barrier in front of the Dragon Knight. So DK farms Ancients, clears stacks, and the rest of his team are pressing, have killed tier 2 bottom. They're ready to fight. They want to go on this Morphling. Dibbe's looking at it.
Yeah, they're thinking about it. It's going to be 5 of Dragon Esports. They want the Earth Spirit. The best target for them.
Armageddon, he's got the stuns here on the Earth Spirit, who's completely out of mana now.
That's a good start.
Shield nearly keeps him up and running, but a good move in from Dragon Esports Club. They've got a lasso in the back on the Lion now. AVULUS will at least find him, but the Sunstrike looking to pop down Zibbe. The Tide is dead. And it's retreat time for AVULUS as the tornado goes right past the right-hand side of them. There's still got a bit of dire vision here, watching Radiant approach as the dire retreat.
Morph TP's in.
Oh, look, yeah, you're right. On top of the head of Smiling Knight, he's forced to BKB now. So another little victory there from the Radiant team. Just a little move out of the Morphling. TP forward aggressively. Getting Alacrity placed on him and still thinking about fighting with an X into boat. Smiling Knight's still getting stunned up here under the ice wall. That's a very tanky Dragon Knight, but disarmed for now, so kept away from the Kunkka, while Bat, you're right, in trouble, but dodges the tornado. Doesn't get the distance though, as Invoker pumps out a serious amount of DPS. Earth Spirit's rejoined, but he's getting stunned up. Silence torrented and killed off as well. Nature's Prophet at least gets a trade down onto the Tusk, and that Morphling disabled up with a Ravage. There we go from Zibbe, but the Strength Morph keeping him fine. He's healthy and TPing home. Off to Fountain we go. He's left his team a little stranded though.
Lion looks like a consolation prize here to the fight. Getting
slapped around by the DK and the Tide, and that should be the end of things there. Oh, is it? Look at them on the left hand. They're looking at it.
Thinking about going in. Dual Race wants to play high tempo. At least go for mana per EMP play here with the Ghost Walk coming in.
Yeah, at least he kind of stops their next move if they wanted to make it. Because that was like 2 or 3 minutes of non-stop brawling.
Yeah, that was a fantastic fight for Dragon Esports. They got everything they wanted. Just beautiful. They got the initiation. I told you they need to go on Earth Spirit. He is the target. You can't go on the other cores, and you need a core kill early. Nice shard use mid, catching Soneko.
That's a nice little grab there on this Nature's Prophet. Give it to the Morphling. Get Little Pleb as much money as humanly possible.
Oh yeah, they're getting back bit by bit here. Morphling is not far behind the Dragon Knights. He is behind, but he's going to try and work his way back in. Now pushing a tower as well. And AVULUS, they have to be careful. Even though they have a lead, they could be dropping a lot of gold by these pickoffs here. As even a kill on the Nature's Prophet is 900 gold. That's what happens when you're this far ahead.
That's a lot of money.
Hey, you don't think that you're going to feed 900 gold when your total net worth is 6,700, right? But
no!
It do be like that.
Yeah, it do. My diet scanning behind the Morphling. Thinking there's no one behind him. A little bit of a poke there. And the follow through, but the Hex and the Strength Morph. Looks like a little Pleb should be okay to waveform to low ground.
They don't have an Orchid or something like that to pair into it. And even if they did, he has Manta Style, so he'd be completely fine anyway. Difficult for him to kill him. Tormentor is up now, and I can already see AVULUS. They're saying, we want this, but the defense is coming. Dragon Esports, they want to defend this. This could be an exciting moment if they go.
Could be. Ravage, 15 seconds. Lasso, I think, a minute. Dragon Form already used, as we can see, but Smiling Knight has a BKB. They've got the Tornado on him. Forced the BKB quite early here from Smiling Knight, but in the back, the Batrider made a jump. Mary Y has the Tusk Snowball to buy a bit of time for the Morphling as he was getting hammered. A kick back. Smiling Knight pushed away from the fight, as it looks like the Dragon Esports Club, they've started it, but they don't want to finish it. AVULUS, they absolutely do, though. Continue brawling, killed off 2, no fallen comrades yet, as Smiling Knight grabs a double kill.
Oof. That was such a good Ravage. It was very close to being such a bad Ravage, but it was calculated. It was close enough. He caught them on the tail end, and that set up the stuns. Get tipped here from his friends as well. Nice catch. Tornado comes in, and Sunstrike trying to steal it. Oh, he does!
He got
it! What a play. Give it up for Dual Race. Tornado to give himself vision, and then Sunstrike to steal. Even gets tipped by Eki there. Gotta recognize the good play.
Real recognizes real.
Yeah, epic gamer.
Ah, some good stuff.
So he gets shard for his Lion there.
That's not unimportant.
No, it's not. It's actually really nice. Now you have something. You know, the shard is kind of funny because he doesn't have a point in mana drain yet.
Right. So when I said that's not unimportant,
right now it is.
he's level 7 on the lion, man. Sometimes I just need to shut my mouth, don't I? Oh my god! I thought I sounded so fucking smart.
Yeah, I mean it would be very good had he had a single point in it. Maybe this will incentivize him to put some points in it, you know? At least you would think so.
I love Dota.
I know you don't like mana drain, but what if we give you a BKB on it as well? Do you want it now?
Man, I don't know. I love it when someone just like super cocky in Dota and then they're just proven wrong. Even if that person's me, it's just...
I believed you too. I was like, it's not important. Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay. Stormer. Well, he's blown up. The Lion Finger of Death with the Morphling damage has killed him off, while an X-Mark Torrent is there on the Seneko. Poor staff. Good from Eki. Yeah,
Morphling going in from behind.
Blink out. Very quick on the fingers with the Bat Rider, but the Dragonite's arriving. Waveform up to high ground, plays into him. They've stunned the DK, hasn't BKB yet. The chain disables are coming. Dragonite is dying. The damage raining from high from this little pleb Morphling. The Dragonite kills off the Invoker first, and the Kunkka too. The Morphling's moved in, kills the DK. He's turned into DK form now as well. Morphling trying to get the damage onto Eki, but he's lassoed through. Oh, Armageddon gone. So now it's Seneko, Zibe, and Eki with no stuns to stop him. So a very wise TP.
Yeah, Clutch just gets out as well. He lives, but what did he lose? Every single friend dead there. It was a good jump on the Dragonite, but you can see what happens if you completely ignore him, even without Ravage. There's a lot of damage coming out from the rest of the side of AVULUS as well. And he
did Ravage come off cooldown like as the Morphling TP'd there?
Yeah, it came off right at the end. I think he would have burned it for the Morphling TP for sure.
Yeah, it looked super close.
Even just getting a point in, or getting a shard on the Tidehunter would be really nice, but he's opted to go for the Aghanim Scepter next, so he almost has the entire thing. He's 800 gold away.
If only they'd got that Tormentor and the shard hadn't gone to the Lion, who apparently is still not going any points
he
in
put 2
drain.
points more in Hex, by the way. He's saying, nice BKB. No, I don't want it. I mean, I think he's right too, because more Hex duration and having lower cooldown on it, it is more important than the mana drain in this game anyway. It's just really funny that he has shard and doesn't have it.
Ooh, attempted Sunstrike Steal on Roche. Not this time. But yeah, we've seen a couple of times. The Hex into the DK to stop BKB, the Hex on the Tide when he tries to blink Ravage, and same story with the Bat. Blink Lasso has been stopped a few times. I think the Lion performance on an individual level has been like very good mechanics-wise.
Ooh, Bat Rider gets stunned up a little bit, but he's gonna be fine. Now they turn it around.
Stormer. He just rolls straight on in. Defend the Bat with everything he's got. Cancel the TP of the Lion while also keeping tabs on Mary Y with the lasso of the Bat Rider. Really beautifully executed, splitting the targets perfectly.
Yeah, that was well utilized rolls there from Storm. Target recognition was good. So they lose 2 heroes, but they didn't lose a core at least on Dragon Esports. They get out, they're still farming, pushing out mid lane, pushing out bottom. They're doing the right thing for the situation that they ended up in. Meanwhile, though, their Ancients are being stolen here. Dragonite has taken that away. Still has that Aegis, of course, for 4 minutes now, so he's gonna look towards that mid tower, open up the final lane.
Oh, and of course, yeah, he's got the Skadi queued up. AVULUS right behind Mr. Dragonite. Nature's Prophet Treant's going to head up to high ground.
Yeah, those Treants are scary.
A big old gush.
The Solar Crest Treants, they take your base so fast, you gotta be careful.
Got a Greater Lotus as well.
Oh. Dispel it immediately with a Tornado. That's one way to defend against the Solar Crested Treant.
Oh yeah, is that
but even so, I mean, that's, what, 800, 900 damage on the tower? Crazy. That's with them reacting immediately.
And he wants to put a stop to it. Low pleb, he saw that Nature's Prophet in a moment of weakness, went aggressive on him, but now he's sucked the rest of his team into an awful fight. They're going to lose Mary White and the Invoker to a big Ravage from Zibe, the damage out of the DK, and I mean, that move from the Morphling set them up for disaster.
It did, and that was impatience, right? You're like, we're losing our tower, something's happening, you know, like the Nature's Prophet is just taking our base, we gotta do something. But I don't think you can go in first. You have to wait. You gotta wait for initiation for someone else. Problem is, you don't have Blink on the Lion, and how do you start the fight on Dragon Esports? You don't have someone to start the fight.
Yep, it's a tough one.
Yeah, and now everything is just falling. This is looking way too reminiscent to game number 1. The Dragon Knight just going in, standing his ground. The Smiling Knight, he got Dragon Knight twice in a row. What can you do?
Yeah, nothing. You can't do anything against that. That's just a big problem, isn't it? Like, honestly, just watching this, the Dragon Esports, like the individual level of skill and plays, it's there. You can see from the Tusk, the Lion, the Morphling, like every single player has, pulled out some nice little moves. As we'll see a snipe on Smiling Knight here, loses first life with the Aegis. It's just that concerted team effort hasn't quite been on point, whereas AVULUS have. Absolutely, rallying around Stormer, getting in there deep with the Magnetize. Zippe trying to play forward with his tanky Tide. Dragon doesn't have his dragon form, but he's still eager to get involved with a lasso on the Invoker. They'll drag him back into the waiting arms of the rest of AVULUS, but it looks like he's tanky enough to get at least back towards Fountain. Kunkka might not have the same luxury, though, as that's Magnetize and a long-range gush damage. It all adds up.
Yeah,
Infernal
slowly.
dead, 3 hiding in Fountain, and yeah, another lane gone.
Slowly just ticking down. They smoke up in base now, going out, but they're -2 heroes to buy back the Kunkka. He comes out on Dragon Knights. Is he still dead though?
It looks like the armlet toggle might just be enough to keep him. No, he dies. Invoker's hit come in. Little plebs. Morphling also surviving while the Tidehunter out of mana. Cardwave pulling that Batrider into a finger of death and kills him off with Senego getting torrented. They've also found a bonus kill here with a couple of buybacks. They've held their base. Killed off 3.
Let's go.
And maybe a 4th one. A Tornado Sunstrike. And Mary White keeping tabs on his Tide means a 4th hero dies.
Absolutely huge here for them. So some signs of life. We were almost counting them as dead here, but they use 2 buybacks, but they get massive kills. Every single kill.
6 grand.
Giving you so much. Yeah, look at that payoff. Huge. Also experience. I mean, 9,000 experience from that fight. So you get some key level ups. Get yourself towards some key items, perhaps. I mean, I would love to see Lion actually get the gold to get a Blink Dagger. That would be massive for them. This is dangerous still for AVULUS. You're far ahead, sure, but we did see it earlier today in Game 1 series. We saw OG throw a 30,000 gold lead. Don't do a repeat on that one, AVULUS.
Yeah, and you said this Morphling is the be-all and end-all of, like, carrying in this game, right?
Yeah, if he gets late enough and he gets farmed enough. Right now, he's just behind the Dragon Knight's item progression, but if you, equalize the gold status, sure, he's the strongest.
A little bit more time. And what we said, 30 to 40 minutes. That's the kind of frame that they're aiming for, at least, right? To hold on. We're hitting 30
and we're there. We're getting there. Yeah, he basically, has a power spike that comes later.
Mana drain. Yes.
Oh boy, that's a big one. We tapped into the shard.
He's going to get none of the talents. He doesn't give a damn about mana drain.
That's an effective plus 1,400 gold net worth right there. Before it was just dead gold on his hero. Batrider looking like a core with his travels and Blink 4-staff running in. Pretty damn farmed. The supports are so big on AVULUS.
Yeah, both supports ahead of the
Either support almost has the same gold as the duo of supports on Dragon Esports.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's a tough one to be a Tusk in this game.
It is really tricky. Same for Lion. Poor guy has died 12 times. 20 deaths combined between the two of them. And Kunkka gets spotted in the corner, trying to finish his items.
A good attempt with the torrent to maybe try and stop any lasso play, but dead for 70 seconds now.
And with cooldown. They also know he bought back, so yeah, this is a rough one.
This is Mega Creeps. Morphling. BKB'd. Good damage onto the DK. Never going to be enough, though, especially with his Tidehunter just walking in, ravaging, holding them back. He will die, and the little blood actually survives. I thought the Morphling would fall, but like in a situation like that where it is doom and gloom and you get something, little victory. It's just, what's the next thing? You need to get them out of your base now.
You need the Dragon Knight kill. He doesn't have BKB, so maybe there's a way you could, you know, find this kill. It's not easy though. A lot of protection spells, 4 staffs.
Oh, just look at this. He doesn't care about landing the waveform. He just wants to get closer to someone, onto a target, whoever he can. Little pleb, this Morphling wants to do damage, but he's been stunned, disabled, held back, dead as well. Gone for 70, and there's GG. AVULUS will take it. 2-0.
Dominant fashion, game 1, dominant fashion game 2. AVULUS looking really strong here, starting out this qualifier. And Dragon Esports, sadly, I think they were a little bit outmatched in this. I'm not really sold on the way they drafted, but ultimately I think they fell behind a lot to AVULUS.